we officially get, it's Andrea.
It's just not Amanda. But I always joke because I'm named after my zio Andrea, which is my uncle Andrea in Italy.
Okay.
And then my mom was like, oh, we'll make it more female and we'll call her Andrea. But my grandpa calls me Andrea. So like and my joke is I don't notice unless you call me Amanda. I always say that. And then Mark gets on the feed as like Amanda. And I was like, we don't have an Amanda. I was new still. So I was like, do we have an Amanda? I looked on Slack. I was like, there's no Amanda. He literally called me Amanda.
Pop is popping and locking. Magnum scrutinizing. Papa Max Pinecast.
Hey gang, Magnum here. As you just heard, we had the absolute honor and privilege to interview the head of BD for Theta Labs, Andrea Berry, at ThetaCon 2022 twice. BD, obviously, for people in the biz, is big deals, and she is quite the big deal. Besides devastating audio issues our first try, she was gracious enough to give us another shot, and we slightly improved. So without further ado, please enjoy Andrea Berry.
So how would you like to start this, Max?
Oh, apology.
Right.
Who are you apologizing to?
Well, I'm apologizing to you.
I think you apologize to the people.
Well, I'll let you go first then.
Do I need to apologize?
I don't think so, but I thought you said, I need to apologize to the people?
Well, yeah, the audience.
Oh, okay, yeah, so...
You haven't found out. You had to tell them. I was like, I'm not going to tell them. They're like, what?
Well, I had to tell her, and then I didn't want you to know that I told her.
Yeah.
They're going to know because it's already quiet.
Okay, so we're here live at ThetaCon 2022 in Andrea's boardroom that she didn't know existed.
Obviously, from the chandeliers, you can't see them, but they're beautiful.
They are.
70s flowers. I don't know what to call those things.
And I figured
this is my boardroom.
I figured out how to shut Cartoon Network off because it kept popping on every time I shut it off. I unplugged it because it kept turning on. Anyways, it's a TV channel on cable.
I understand.
Oh, okay.
Did you not watch Fuse this morning or panel? They hired a bunch of old comedies. Shout out.
Oh yeah,
We'll talk about that in podcast. Let's get to the brass tacks.
Right. So Magnum here issued an apology to everyone, the 10s and 10s who attended.
No,
attended.
I don't think you need to apologize to them.
I wanted to apologize to Andrea. She says I need to apologize to people that were there because there was a lot of great content that happened. However, we missed some of it.
Yeah, but the people that were there didn't miss it. It's
right.
Yeah, that's kind of the value, but like they're not part of the show anymore.
No, that's true.
They're gone.
Their interaction.
We love them.
You do need to apologize to them. So
we're happy.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay,
but you know what? Actually, let's just keep going with this.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, you know what? You're welcome to those people because they got a one-of-one experience.
That's right. They did.
Okay.
Yeah, they redeemed it.
Well, then I retract that apology.
There you go.
Wait, that's not very humble, though.
Then you might not do that.
I'm not going to retract the apology. I'm still apologizing, but
you're really owning it, and we appreciate it. It's okay. I'm just busting you.
It's okay. I've learned over the years to fall on the sword, even though if you're not the one who did anything wrong, because it makes stuff go by quicker, and we can just get to what we need to.
Yeah, everyone's egos can just relax for a second.
Yes. So
it's actually one of my strategies. I will formalize that as a U in my strategy approach of business development.
Yeah.
Make them a verb.
Well, no.
Magnum.
Pulling a Magnum is screwing up, though.
Too bad we missed the swamp pass.
That got cut out.
Wow. I mean, we can talk about that later. But that's
okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So, okay.
Okay.
But I don't know if I said, so the audio cut out. We got some good stuff. We didn't get some good stuff.
Some candid stuff.
We got some.
Yeah, some like the early stuff.
Right.
Before I knew we were recording.
Right. So we only recorded when she didn't know we were recording. And then when I said we were recording, the audio was gone.
Yeah.
So
it's a shame.
But to be fair, you didn't know that this was going on. Whatever, you just showed up and took over.
Which
I know.
Great.
We needed a leader in there,
It was
though.
actually like this really fun, like, I felt like I was just like, what's crowd surfing?
Okay.
Like, at what point, because it was like 5 o'clock or so.
6 o'clock, yeah.
It was like, okay, so almost 24 hours since the WoW Gala event. So I was like, 24 hours since I almost threw up. I was just so nervous about it because it's like a big deal, right?
Right.
And it was MAINNET launch day. And like, it's like, oh my God. So then I was like, finally, like by the time I got pulled into the room, I was like finally relaxed. So I had a drink or two, but I don't drink really.
Right.
I don't drink.
We'll cut it out.
No.
You won't even.
No, I'm kidding. I was like, yeah, I don't drink.
Yeah.
Nobody knows. But I went from one room, like it was absolute chaos yesterday. And I like run in the lobby. I'm like, what life am I living right now? Like corporate America, it looks like this now. In Web3, it's kind of fun. But someone pulled me in, Adrian from Trueverse,
right?
Of course.
Yes.
And he's like, you gotta come up. And I was like, Pop Mag's recording. I'm like, recording right now. And then like, oh, you're recording right now. I'm like, I was like, oh, the tens of tens were all here.
Oh my God. I
was
couldn't believe
It was
it.
amazing. Yeah.
No, but it was so fun. And then they're like literally pushing me, ushering me through. And then people are handing me drinks. So I was like, okay, going, like moving with the flow. And everyone just kept ushering me. And then all of a sudden I'm in this private room. And you guys have like the audience. You guys are like, Andrea. I'm like, okay, we're doing it. Let's go.
Right. And I had like some chocolate milks, and you're like, hey, can I have a chocolate milk too? Because I didn't say alcohol.
Yeah, high moon juice.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it was good. Well, yeah, I was like sitting in the chair, and then Adrian's so sweet and like humble. I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'll do it with Adrian first. I won't be nervous, or like, I'll be good. And he sits down, and of course, my Italian is just like, bah, 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 bah. And Adrian quietly in my ear goes, I'm gonna go. And I was like,
We didn't even notice when he left.
so sweet, like right, because he was just happy I got on the show. He had so much fun with you guys before, and I was like, don't leave my side. But then he was like, go fly.
Yeah.
He did such a good demo today. Did you guys see it?
I did not see it.
We
did it.
Like you said, it's been
A
a
while.
while.
I can't believe how much I've done, but I can't believe how much I haven't done.
Wait, isn't that the best kind of conference? Like, I cannot believe the team just this level of elevation. Like, I'm telling you, 90% of conferences I go to, like, are not even close to what was at all aspects holistically. It's awesome.
I think the shocking thing for me that I discovered was being at this conference is the least I've looked at Twitter and Discord. And
It must be feel pretty good.
I feel
Especially
pretty
since you're
good.
managing 2 Twitters.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly like
No,
one
you
one.
are.
Okay.
Are
You
you?
are.
I'm sorry. Oh,
Right.
right.
Oh,
We
did
can
did
talk
you
about
want to
that.
address this?
Yeah. So
Did that
who,
make the first half hour?
So
We'll
who
find out.
runs the business for the podcast?
What's the definition of business?
Okay, who runs comms?
Me.
Okay, that must be hard.
It is.
He's humble.
Is
though.
it stressful?
A lot of it's very stressful. Thank you.
What do you find stressful about it?
Time management, of course.
That's what I say the hardest part of my job is.
Well, like what I've learned is you just have to triage everything because some stuff comes in and it's more important or it's less important. And then you got to figure out what's the most important and what can you do now? Can we put it off later? Can we not put it off later? We got to do it.
Yeah.
So that constantly has to go
You're
through
a
my
pleaser,
head.
I can tell. So
Of course.
hard.
I know. And it's tough for me to admit that
Yeah.
because I'm so humble.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I just show up once a week and that's it.
Oh my God! Please tell me you got his kids on. What the best part of the show?
So time out. I don't know. Time
Can
out.
we cut? Yeah, let's
Yeah.
cut to the clip. If
Well-
this thing.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
As long as these two are happy, I'm okay.
Those are my Padawans.
They're very cool.
Yes.
You have some?
Right there.
Hi. Have you guys been on the show before? What show?
Nope.
What
Yeah,
show?
exactly.
Let that be noted that they said what show. I love
Yeah.
that.
Charizard 69.
Okay.
Well, that's his Twitter handle.
I know. I just love this. I'm never gonna get sick of this. And you're like da da da, and it's always 69. I'm like, oh my God. Like, okay, fine.
It was actually after our audio went off, so we got like a half hour with you. Charizard 69. He had a iPad and he recorded
Yes, he
it
did.
and he actually put it on YouTube. So he
So
put it at private
Not
and
the whole
then
thing.
not
Why? First of all, why did he post to YouTube? I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Kind of.
did
Well,
did the editable part make it on there?
yes.
Ooh.
But
All right. Well,
well,
you know.
I think so. Yeah, if you know, you know.
We have
If
to
you were
watch the
there,
whole thing to figure it out.
Yeah. The tens of tens are now the singles
Yeah.
of singles.
Oh,
So last night it was hundreds of hundreds, possibly.
I kept saying that.
well,
And then
that's
someone's
different.
like, later, like tens of tens. I was like, that's right, because that's funnier. But I believe it's hundreds of hundreds. We're there now. I think we're there now.
Right. Some episodes
We'll
more
get
than
some
others.
retweets. I'll
Well,
tweet
you-
this out. I'll blast. We're going full on. We're getting to hundreds of hundreds.
Real quick, you're a very big guest that we have on right now.
Stop.
No,
No, huge.
you are.
You guys stop.
No, seriously.
It's very sweet. It's just-
No, it's
Okay,
true.
Okay.
Fact check, correct.
Okay.
Oh, and I was re-listening to another backtrack. So I was listening to some of it to make sure the audio was fine. That's how I
Yeah.
discovered that the audio went
I
down.
would have loved. I would have paid to be in the room when you realize the moment
Yes.
that nothing recorded. I can kind of.
Sweat.
I get like 10% of a glimpse right now. I
Yeah,
know you
no,
would
it
have
was-
paid even more than I would.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
yes.
seen it. He's
Yes.
Yeah.
he's seen that.
Sorry to interrupt. Go on.
So there I was.
The
Listening to the
Meridian.
first
Oh.
38 minutes. Listening to the first 38.
Oh, yeah, but no, what were you just saying? I get like
No.
sidetracked.
Oh yeah.
You
I.
got sidetracked about a
This is
sidetrack.
my brain too, but that makes us smarter. Okay, let's hear it. Let's backtrack here.
Oh.
His kids have no idea that his dad is on a podcast.
Yeah, what's up? We got her like.
Did we
what's
get
the
hers?
We got it. That audio. I was dying.
we did.
Oh, okay, so
We
we're
did.
gonna cut to that if we haven't already. Cut to that clip.
Cut to that clip. I was gonna have another point. Totally forget. Doesn't matter. We'll
It's
cut
okay,
that part
it's
out.
gonna come in.
We'll leave
and
it
then
in.
We'll get it back in. Also, you have a notepad in front of you.
Right.
Right.
That's what
down.
this is for.
Hands down, 7-Up.
No one.
7-Up.
Yes. Where were we?
Yeah. Let's
Oh,
talk
you guys
about-
were like making me uncomfortable because I'm humble. So you're
Obviously.
No, I'm
Well-
humble.
No, you're
No.
way more humble than me, and I'm humble enough to admit it. Right?
No, I won't respond to that. I think so many people.
That's so humble
I'm
of you.
so, like, especially when they do the hands together bow. So humbled. So humbled
Yes.
to be here. It's like, are you? It's kind of weird when you say I'm humble. I
You-
love it, and I believe you though.
You say I'm humble.
You are humble,
I
but you can't
If you
say.
say-
I respect your opinion enough to let it. I'm not gonna
humble.
argue with you if that's what you want to get out there.
Humble Wars? That actually sounds like a really cool drop. I like this energy. It makes me feel literally how my brain works. Like it's like this is actually like a really but it's fine. You're gonna appreciate it, so I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
A lot of times I feel like I get stressed or I'm thinking about too many things at once. So my thought process, I explain it like the ABCs, and I will be like A, B, C, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, like on the same thought. I just like go back and back, and I can't think it all the way through because all of these other alphabets are starting. And it's very rare that I get through A through Z. And when I do, it is very Zen, like Zen garden in the true verse. Like I've done it, I've thought it. So I get distracted too. I understand. Is that a good
Happens
way
to
of
us all.
explaining it? That sounds right.
That-
We cut it. We cut it.
No, it's Zen.
Someone during the Trueverse demo today was just you guys have both been
We,
in there?
Yeah.
We've both been in
Yeah.
there.
Oh, we gotta hang out in there. Why aren't we
We-
in there right now?
Well, we got a late invite on a Saturday. I was kind of busy with some things. He needs.
Oh.
This guy needs so much. I need so much stuff in advance.
Yeah,
To
he's gotta
get
make sure
him-
the kids are down.
Yes.
Yep.
That he's Batman.
Yes,
Let's make it a
exactly.
Batman thing. Yeah, the podcast.
Right.
We want your kids to like you.
It's like
And
a Clark
respect
Kent, you know, like I gotta.
Okay,
like,
Clark Kent. I see. I see.
Because the
that.
he's wearing glasses.
I see it. Yes, that's when he's on the podcast. He wears his glasses. That's why his kids are like,
No,
who
during
is
the
this guy?
day. No,
we
during the
were
day.
doing the demo with Adrian, and then your daughter came out
Really?
on the. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did
That
she
was kind of
say
funny.
then? I love her.
She didn't.
No,
she didn't say anything.
It wasn't. That was just like, you know, they're like, oh, what are you doing? Kind
Yeah.
of thing. I'm like,
That
oh.
happened to me.
Yeah.
So earlier on Saturday. I got the early invite,
For the opening.
the opening.
You're talking about the grand opening.
Big opening.
11/19.
Yeah. So I was
International
like,
Men's Day.
it was a Saturday.
Oh, right. Yeah. No,
So
that's what I was talking about.
Like, I was ready to check in at some point, but I also know how, it's like MVP launch day. Like, I didn't want to do it at the same time. I was just kind of waiting for Adrian to text me. So he's like, okay, we're here now. It's just Lisa and I. Come on in. Yes.
Yes. So you were speaking earlier on a panel
Uh-huh.
with there was other people on
It
there.
was so fun.
It was so fun, and so this is kind of weird. So you mentioned in this panel. No, you did. You did.
Sorry, just the way you're saying it is very scary.
This is
Okay,
so
but go
weird.
on.
I'm sorry. No, so you mentioned you were breaking out for Adrian, like, hey, they're not in the biz. So let me break the lingo down. So you're saying
Yeah.
MVP. Are they thinking
Oh.
most valuable player?
No, she
I'm
said
just-
OTT.
Oh, that was that. But you're
But
asking MVP
ipso
right
facto
now.
now, because now you're using a biz acronym.
Let's make it most valuable product,
Most-
but it's minimal viable product.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling that out.
I just wanted to.
No, it's like really.
We have
really-
people at my level, so
No, it's like really important, and I like it. I'm not a technical person, but when you're in the biz,
right,
there's a lot.
right.
No, it's true, and it's like that's what a global adoption is all about. Is like let's just slow down for a second. Minimal viable product, which you probably heard of. It's like beta. It's just beta.
Yeah.
Oh, I know about beta.
Beta.
You're here with us.
Yeah,
in
but
beta.
MVP technically, not JE technically speaking, like just like us technically
Yeah.
speaking, MVP is like a step above beta. Beta is like
Okay.
usually for in-house developer testing or like within the community. Do not bring up what I know I know where your brain is going. Just
No, but I wanted to give you credit about something you said yesterday about
wait,
this.
write it down on a piece of paper while I finish this.
No, I got it. I'll
Okay.
forget it. Go ahead.
Okay, so beta comes before MVP usually, minimal viable product. So minimal viable products like it's what we just all got access to. Like we're the public, even though like we're within the family, he's like ready to scale, right? As soon as they need more, they can just ramp it up. Beta, that is not the case. Beta, you're still like not necessarily for mass public. I mean, this is technically speaking. Someone will totally comment on the podcast that, well, technically, I was like
Yeah.
this, and according to Wikipedia. So I'm
Well,
just saying,
they're wearing glasses and they point them up with
Yeah.
their finger.
you know, I should have worn my glasses. But yeah. Anyways, they launch MVP. Let me finish this story. And
Yes.
I know you're like on the edge of your seat. I'll let you talk next.
I'm actually not. I
I hope
usually
you
am.
get to talk at some
That's
point.
okay.
No.
I'm-
They're not here
This is
for
my
him or
favorite.
me. They're here for you.
This is my
Okay,
favorite.
well, okay, maybe. They're for us, guys. They're here for us. Let's be honest. So he messaged me, and I had like a really hard morning. I had like a migraine headache, and I'm like, shit. Like I can say shit.
Yes.
As long
It's
as you're
encouraged.
comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, shite. No, I'm kidding. So I was like, oh God, I gotta like meet Adrian. And it's like Saturday. And I'm like, I went back to bed because I had a migraine. And so I'm like in my pajamas. And I was like, it's the metaverse.
That doesn't matter.
I was like, let's go, baby.
Yeah.
So I sit there and my boyfriend like sees me in the corner of my headphones and I was like, just cracking up.
Were you more relaxed doing it, or because your avatar looked very relaxed?
I was just as relaxed. as my
And
avatar.
two things. And hopefully I remember the first thing I was going to say.
Okay.
I don't know if you were done. I
Chill.
just keep interrupting.
No, please keep going.
I went in with him, and turns out my sound was down, and I was on mute. I was saying I had all these good things to say.
That sounds
I'm
familiar.
talking with
Sounds
Adrian.
familiar.
Yeah.
It's kinda
Oh, yeah.
weird.
I'm making all these
This is
points, and I'm like,
Thing you do?
is this thing on?
I'm sure you were. I'm sure you
And-
were.
and then
I'm
so
sure you were really
Adrian-
smart. I'm sure.
Adrian had to leave. He had some big meeting, so
Yeah.
we were hanging out a bit.
He left you.
He
alone.
left us in the metaverse,
Yeah.
and I figured out how to like isolate the sound so we could take the background music out.
Right.
That was the hard part.
I
I
fi-
like the Zen music.
You can do it. No, you
I
can
know.
take it
No,
out.
I figured that soon, but that was hard when you first joined. And that's like MVP feedback is like, okay, I like the Zen music, but it has to auto start much lower because it's like equal to the volume. So then you're like, hey, like you're like trying to yell
Right.
at someone so they can hear you.
Or you're all up in their face so they can say, "Hey, can you hear me now?"
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
that's called spatial audio.
Spatial audio.
Like the idea of space
Yeah.
audio, right? Like closer, louder. We're in the car, close the doors.
Right.
So this like 100.
but in
times
space, nobody can hear you scream.
can't,
spatial
have
audio.
You been there?
Space? We're here now.
Sounds like you know.
No, I haven't.
Actually, you're right.
I have not. I don't know.
We could be.
I'm not smart enough to make that assumption.
My fun fact: my grandpa was a rocket scientist and
Wow.
launched like some of the first satellites. I won't again. Someone's going to comment and be like, "Well, technically." But he,
Not Sputnik.
No, Loral Space Systems, which was like, and this is again me as probably a teenager figuring out, like it was like a private NASA.
Okay.
It still exists. It's changed a lot over the years, but he was chairman and CEO of this amazing space company. He's a technologist. That is totally why I'm like obsessed with tech. I can type 100 words a minute. This has been
Wow.
tested because
Is that
of
on
it.
your resume?
No, but it really should be.
It used to
It's
be.
my
Do-
byline, obviously.
Do they still do keyboarding in high school?
I don't know. haven't been there in a
The
while.
only class I ever got A+ in computer every freaking year. Of Roger Rabbit and like my grandpa.
Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, do
the
you
bunny?
remember they used to have these computer games. My grandpa had it like he had the first microwave, I was told. Killed my dad.
Raytheon?
I don't know.
Well, they're the ones that
I mean,
invented the microwave
Yeah, I
technology.
can ask my. Yeah, it
Are they?
probably
Yes.
was. So my dad was the only child, and they were obsessed with technology. So our whole lives, like they had first everything, and my dad always told the story. It's actually great podcast content because it's like nothing to do with Theta.
That's what we want,
Okay.
yeah.
So you guys,
This is
you're
what the
gonna
10s and 10s want.
Love this story. So it's he was the only child. They had a microwave, and he always tells us, and it makes me always stand in the other room when I microwave something, because obviously the first microwave was not probably safe.
Yeah.
And little Birdie, his bird, I forget, I think it was like Chirpy or Birdie was the name of his
Was.
Oh
bird.
no.
Rest in peace. I'm going to assume.
Was on top of the microwave. I think he
Oh
went
my
to, he was in
God.
boarding school. So you go Monday, maybe he was in college. He was gone,
Mm-hmm.
came home. Tweety was the bird.
Tweety bird.
Tweety comes in, he goes, Mom, why is Tweety on its back? Oh, Tweety's been taking a nap. He goes, Mom.
Oh yeah.
Tweety's dead.
Oh man.
Very, very forward with technology. No, but it's so funny. So my whole childhood, my grandpa had I remember they had a fruit saver, and it was literally a machine that you can find it on the TV, buy TV, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you preserve fruit 4x times. It works. They got my. I
Do you
can
have a
talk
promo
about
code
this
for
now
this one?
because they're rest in peace. I love my grandparents, but now I can say this without asking you to edit it out.
Oh, okay. For
That
once.
the fruit saver, my mom would always get the gifts, so their daughter-in-law always would get. You got a fruit saver, and my mom's like, "Okay, I have 4 kids. I'm gonna fit this on the table. Plus, it's going the whole night." She's like, "I don't need a fruit saver. We eat all the fruit every day." It's so funny. But anyways, my whole life I grew up with tech, Silicon Valley. I grew up in Los Altos, which is next door to Palo Alto, but where the proper Silicon Valley is. So people think that's Sand Hill. That's where all the venture capitalist firms are, on Sand Hill in Menlo Park.
Of course.
Yeah, obviously.
We talked about that
I
last
know,
time.
You guys
Yeah.
know that all the time.
We were actually just there.
And then that's great. We can go. We should go there. Once we get
Is
to
this a second
thousands of
invite?
thousands, we're going to Sand Hill.
The only
Second
thing, the only thing I know
We're
is
going to Nana's house. That's my.
I don't know
other
how.
grandma.
Well, so quick thing about was it Los Angeles County? Do you know about this thing? So
I've heard of it.
no, I don't know if this is still the news. There's 3 different weathers they give, because there's a desert that falls in there too.
Do you know? Do I need to pull them?
The map.
LA
Well, no.
is huge. There, of course, there's 3 zones. You got the coast where Jerry lives. Jerry lives by the beach.
Okay.
I live an hour away from Jerry still. So people are let's meet up. And so I'm always careful of Jerry, I got you. They asked for 9 a.m. I won't do that to you. It's like rush hour. It's a 2-3 hour drive for him. So we'll usually do lunch. Anyways.
Well, I was stuck out in Palmdale, which is hotter than. Can I say it or no?
I grant you access.
Hotter than fuck, but no humidity.
Oof. So you don't feel it. You're like,
Yeah,
what's happening?
It's only dry heat.
It's from
Yes.
the inside out, you're burning.
Yeah, but it's insane, and there's nothing out there from what I was out there. There's Air
Why?
Force Plant 42, and then there's all these defense contractors on there.
Oh, wait.
Okay,
Is that what you? Am I doxing you?
you're not
What do you
doxing
do?
me.
Okay.
So, I used to be part of a pro. So I'm an active duty National Guard soldier, and right now I work with the
You're
U.S.
so humble.
I know.
I'm actually totally kidding. I think that's incredible. I
years-
didn't know this about you. I'm genuinely.
I got 2 years to retire, and I just can't wait. So to get my pension, I was
So
on.
you can the pension. What percentage is
It's-
allocated to Theta token?
We'll find out. I mean, I don't get it yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Okay. We'll talk. I'll be back for that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, anyways, when I was out there, so I was part of a program that evaluated defense contractor production
What?
stuff. Yes.
All the secrets.
So they have this thing called the F-22 and the F-35,
Okay.
and I might have had to evaluate stuff on the production line.
For people not in the biz, what's F-22 and
What are the
F-35?
planes?
They're very fast planes.
Look at you smile like.
So there's
I
the-
did not know this.
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember
You
this.
know
This
what
is a while
OTT
ago.
is?
This is a while ago.
Very humble.
Okay. Okay.
So, well, I had nothing to do with it, but I
But
remember.
you know about it. That's something.
But so different defense contractors work on different parts of these things, and they put them together, and that's why
Right.
the Air Force plant there. And we got to go see that too. We got to see a U-2, and it wasn't Bono wasn't there though.
Oh man.
That is so
You freaking believe that?
That
The
is
Edge
so
was there though.
freaking
but-
Classic. Just like when he mansplained his way into all of our iPhones.
Oh,
Then
is
he
that
doesn't
Apple's
show
fault,
up when you
or is
actually
that-
want to see him.
yeah.
That was not okay.
Yeah.
Well, you can blame Apple. We can blame Apple. But like, let's they have something to do with it.
Okay.
How big of a deal? I just plugged in my phone the other day to a rental car, and YouTube played. I was like,
What?
what? How old is my iPhone? Like Apple Music library? Because I obviously
Right.
use Spotify like everybody. I listen to you guys on Spotify.
Please do.
Okay, good.
And I listen to us in different places.
Good. Got to get those stats.
Yes.
Got the
On different
advertisers need to
devices.
be pleased.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And I'm humble enough to admit it. You know, I don't care where they come from.
I have to pause really quick. Should we do an audio check? Because I see we don't have earphones. Just,
I took them out.
He did an audio check.
I did-
at the
but you
start.
think I'm not like? I just want to make sure I'm not.
It didn't unplug.
No, I just
I
want to
can-
make sure I'm not like clingy or like, is this too loud? Or are you an audio engineer, so it doesn't matter?
Well,
I'm-
he did a mic check on each seat.
So the worst, I did like 4 mic checks
When
while
you came,
I had time to wait
Yeah.
because I was planning on a 5:45. But no big
here we
deal.
go,
I
here we
defer
go.
gave-
to my manager here. Sorry.
So and then worst case we got the iPhone. I know it's like a 14 or something.
Let it be known the iPhone is in a briefcase. Is this not a
Is it
briefcase?
running?
Yes, but
I like it though.
It's a
but
purse.
it's
a merce.
That is definitely mercy.
well,
It's a satchel.
and then fun fact, this guy I know, not related to that, he worked
he
from
sell it to you?
Raytheon.
Okay.
No, and I was at his camp, and he told my Daryl.
Yeah.
He told Daryl,
My Daryl.
your Daryl, our Daryl.
Yeah.
He said that.
Shout out Daryl.
Shout out. He goes, oh, that's a smart idea. Now you can lose your phone and wallet at the same time. Well, I
Just
overheard
like
it.
audio,
No,
you
he
know?
said it to him.
Oh.
And so I overheard it. But I think it's easier because now you got everything on the line. if it's
Yeah,
there.
So is this
you're all
recording
or
too?
nothing.
This is recording too.
Oh.
You're all or
Yeah,
nothing.
but-
Oh wow, we got backup. Is this a
Should've
new
done this
thing that
last
you
night.
do, backup? I
You know,
get
so
it.
Wes
You are-
Sherwin,
you live-
Ultralight, was telling me, you don't have backup?
I think we just took a step into MVP.
I mean, we
from
could
Daryl.
all learn a little something from Wes.
Um,
Can't we? Like, what a guy. Shout out Wes.
Shout out
Have
Wes.
you had him as a guest?
You won't believe that
No,
we're gonna
no.
have him at some point, and
There's a story.
there's a big story.
Well, I want to know because I think I have something sassy to say. But go ahead.
Well, I think we should save it for Wes though. But
okay, save it.
but
I'll
can I-
say my thing first.
I'll
Yes.
tell you and I'll cut it out.
Okay.
Okay.
If needed. Oh, if up to you.
When Ivory came on our first time, I rushed to get it out.
I think that was my first episode I listened to.
Oh, no, that's
Actually,
a good one.
let's
Oh, right.
put that on record.
Okay, we're still on record
Okay,
before
but-
I do my thing.
Yes, but in all seriousness, like I guess that's a longer answer about the community, but there's so much opportunity in the community. Obviously, ThetaCon's example of that. But Ivory Jones, everybody talks. You got to know Ivory Jones. You got to know Ivory Jones, and I'm like, who is this mythical creature?
Right.
Like, and
And
also-
he doesn't live in an ivory tower. He's very humble.
Yeah.
he's so great, and his family is so
Oh,
sweet.
yeah.
I know.
Oh, my
I
God.
know the
Yeah.
best. Okay, now my mind is like yours right now. I'm in the ABCs. Okay, so Ivory though, but then I was like, I wanted to listen to your podcast. I'm terrible about podcasts. You guys are literally probably in my Spotify lineup. Like it's not.
After you edit it,
I
Photoshop
forget.
it.
I forget that like, oh, it's so quiet. I could have been listening to a podcast. Like I just forget. Like it
Yeah.
needs to be on autoplay, but
you don't even actually need to listen. Just let it play somewhere.
well,
But
who's
how-
hitting play? Can you do that? Because that's the problem. I forget that I just need to hit play. Like I forget that I could have been listening to a podcast this whole time.
Right.
I'm even that way about music. It's really weird. I just
Can
like,
I do a
forget.
Spotify side note?
Yeah.
I don't know if this is true, and I could look it up, but I'm sick of like looking on the internet for something.
Yeah.
But so I got hooked in a couple weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago. There was like this Spotify thing on Netflix. Did you see this?
Oh my God, I know.
But so my question, okay, this is okay. So I'm like, this is very freaking interesting, and
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 you read. I'm impressed.
I didn't-
You did subtitles. I'm impressed.
oh yeah, I
Or
didn't
did
even
you
know.
dub it? You dubbed
No.
it? Oh, great.
I had the was it in English? Was there an English? It came on mine in
I
English.
started with English and then it was so like strange, you know, and I was like, I guess I'll just.
So one, I don't know if this story is true
It's
because
not, apparently.
well,
Which
this is
freaks me on.
So the last episode, spoiler alert, and
Oh.
sorry, well,
Great, you're spoiling me right
Turn-
now. Go ahead.
turn it off now if you don't want to hear the
Okay.
how I figured out that
Ears are plugged.
how this thing was not true is because the last episode they had took place in 2025.
What? Erroneous.
So I was
No.
like,
That's-
wait a second.
Hold on.
I'm believing this whole thing,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it takes place in 20, and I had to get a calendar because I had some
think
spaghetti I had to
like you
drain.
even more because within the first 3 minutes, I'm Googling, is this real? Like, right, I'm on Google. I'm like, I have a very particular Google search to not do spoilers, but to know, like, I need to know just like how real are we following the story? Like 3 minutes, I'm in. You rode the wave.
I rode the wave.
Like 2025. What?
Well, I mean, that wasn't to the last episode. It was interesting how they put it together where they kept getting chipped. I'll tell you my story next.
So
On the next
funny.
episode of Spotify, that's not true.
no.
Because is Spotify even a company from over there?
No, it was okay. That is, I don't know too many things, but it was a company that started there. That's all I know. And that they were scrappy, and that I do believe the rights issue, not that I don't think Sony was the company, which was disappointing because I wanted the goss. Like, I was like, come on, like,
Yeah.
I love a good corporate
So
goss
that
story.
bald guy from Sony, not true.
No, I don't think so. And I want to know. I
Who-
want to know those.
So, but did you?
stories.
So then you didn't watch any of it. You stopped.
I
it.
stopped watching because I've changed gears a little bit because it's like this is like
I
completely.
kind of felt
fictional.
cheated on because it's like
Yes.
I'm investing my time in this, and then to find out 2025 is not even here yet.
Well, it's like, oh, you know what? This goes back to my principle in business development. It's all about setting expectations.
BD in the biz, as we
Yeah.
say, right?
No, but in all seriousness, it's like setting expectations. Like when we clicked on that episode, we thought we were getting like a
I didn't know what the heck I was
what
watching
was the
first.
Uber one? That was so good. Super pumped. Did you
Uber
see-
One?
Uber, no, but they have not. No, that's a great story. Just the fact you said Uber one. Did they? I don't know.
I thought
Not if you
said
watch
Uber
this
One.
She did.
HBO. I think
Uber
it's
one.
HBO and maybe Showtime. We don't discriminate on this podcast.
Right, we just share
Advertisement
passwords.
is open
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
on a certain platform.
Right.
But we keep it open for advertisers.
They're all proud sponsors.
I
Right.
forget which one the Super Pumped is. I'm pretty sure it's HBO. That one is so good. Jason Gordon-Levitt is the main character. He's
Okay.
that crazy person. The CEO. What's his name? It's great
Of
that I
who?
know the actor. Uber.
Oh,
the
but
founder. What's his name? I'm so glad I'm not giving him a shout out.
Oh, okay.
Nameless.
All right.
The CEO of Uber. You have to watch it. And this is what's important about you talking about your emotions about the Spotify show is now you're going to be fulfilled with the Uber one because it's actually really on track and it's kind of sad and like hot goss way. Hot
Ooh.
gossip,
Okay.
hot gossip.
Okay.
No, but it like goes into like his family, his ex-girlfriend, because his ex-girlfriend became an investor and like he's awful. He turned into a total monster. And even all of the issues in the office were very real, like based off HR reports.
Okay. Human resources.
And this will keep it cool for my next episode coming, but we have to cut this part.
Okay. Cut.
No, like
No, I'm letting myself know to cut.
Yeah,
So
cut.
And now a word from our sponsors.
And then
This week's episode is brought to you by Sizzle Popcorn, the official popcorn of Poppin' Mag's Pinecast. Choose from a variety of delicious flavors including lightly salted, cheddar, salt and vinegar, Mexican chili, maple syrup, and, yeah, even ketchup. The perfect snack for any occasion. Use promo code POPPINMAGS at checkout for an additional 10% off. That's POP_MAGS.
Papa Max, yeah. Papa Max. Papa Max Podcast. Papa Max Podcast.
The one thing I want to say on a complete side note is because when you were like
if
bigger,
your side note, drink. Go on.
like when you kind of started, at least on Twitter, when you came to Theta,
Mhm.
someone said, "I don't know about her. All she does is talk about basketball."
Oh my
I
God,
was
what is-
dying.
Isn't that hilarious?
I thought it was the funniest.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, Theta, robot. What? Like, are you kidding me? God, who hates a woman who talks
I'm like,
about
can you
sports?
believe that?
Right.
I still remember it to
When I
this
did
day.
that, I went-
So you noticed
I
it.
went in on NBA tweets. I was like, great, welcome to my profile. I talk about dogs, wine, plants, lots of plants,
Right.
and basketball.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, bye.
It was something like she's okay, but she talks way too much about basketball.
God, women.
Well, and then the
But
verified.
it was that energy. I'm not saying that was
It was-
bad, but it was
it was
that
hysterical.
energy, right? Of like, just like, relax, bro.
Yeah. I'm like,
you don't like it?
They
There's a
did. I'm
mute
like,
and
she
a
just
block
got
button.
here. Give her like a second.
Also,
She's
I'm
also her own person.
I'm also Andrea Berry.
Right.
I'm a person.
Yes.
I have interests, hobbies,
Right.
opinions.
Right.
But in all seriousness, like this does come up a lot. It's like, this is her Theta protocol. It's like, yes, I represent Theta, but that account, I'm actually glad this is on the record.
Okay, we'll put it
That
This is
on.
on the
That
record.
account is mine. And I'm very
Right.
cautious of what I say when I say. It's actually very hard sometimes because I want to tell you guys what's
Right.
going on or the day I had, right? Because everything is like, that's a whole other conversation. It's like, she liked this and they liked it back. Is there a partnership with Disney? I'm like, oh, everyone relax. It's like, keep manifesting, but relax. But like, it's like people get so critical. I'm like, no, that's my personal account. I don't think it's 2022. I don't need to say my opinions are my own. Like,
Right.
it's like, it's my personal account, but like, I represent Theta.
Right.
So I don't get political.
Yep.
But if something is messed up happening in the world and we're all humans, I think I can be like, I like
Yeah.
human beings.
Like tsunami
Yeah.
just wiped out whatever.
Exactly.
This is awful. What the heck is she talking about?
I
Where does she
posted
get
the
off?
picture of my Theta hat at the airport and a mask on. People went nuts.
Oh,
You might
I
need to
didn't-
cut this part out. I don't know. But you don't know anything about my health.
I
I
saw
was
that.
wearing masks on planes
Before
before
that.
COVID. My rocket science grandpa said, you always lose your voice. You talk too much. The air, and it's better for your health. Just wear a mask when you're on a plane and like on a bus. And it's like, yeah, forever. I will always do that. That's gross. You're in a closed room. Someone sneezes. Are you kidding me? And you can't roll down the window?
Right.
Oh, nothing bothers me more. Like in another life, I will be head of TSA. That is literally my dream job. It's actually
Shout out TSA.
Shout out TSA. And then secondly, if it's not that, it's the United States Postal Service. And to your point about pensions,
Yeah.
you started the Postal Service in like your 20s, like you're retired at 40 something.
That's-
California. That's
You know
my
what, though?
job. Are you kidding? I'm like, why did no one tell me this in high school? So I could have just like maybe gone to college or halfway gone to college.
I wish I didn't go to college. I would have been retired already if I didn't go to college.
You've got it all figured out.
Yeah, I honestly thought that when I graduated college, European history majors would have been a bigger thing.
Said every European history major ever. But that's kind of the no. Can we ask him a question? I
Yes,
feel
I'm
like
sorry.
This is, like, this is so not.
Sorry.
This is not humble.
But we still got the other thing. I get to talk about the NBA thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
And then
you're
we get
off
to-
on the, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
just finish.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So back to the
Right.
So we're
Where did
Back
we
to
leave
cut.
off? Yeah.
cut. Back to cut.
This is right up your alley.
Right
What
up
are you?
yeah.
Who are you?
I'm just here.
Do your
like,
kids know you're here?
They have no idea.
That was the best. I'm so
Ivory
glad
pulled
you got
him-
that part because it was so sweet and so cute. And like, I don't know. So my grandpa was in tech and my dad was more in a role like me. So he was more business development. Like we're not engineers. And so I remember like as a kid pulling over when you had a cell phone in the middle compartment. And this is like what I was thinking when your daughter was on your lap last night. I was like, what show? He would pull over on the way to like AYSO soccer tournament or something and write the cell phone with the
Yeah.
cords in the center.
Oh,
And you have
right.
to pull over because you couldn't drive with the phone.
I didn't even know that.
I didn't know
You
that.
have to park.
Okay.
You guys must be younger than me.
I don't think so.
We just never had cell phones in the car.
I was in Silicon Valley. So like, right, that's like, I guess like now today, this Teslas are like literally every 3 cars is a Tesla in the Bay Area. But anyways, so cell phones are in the center console. So we would pull over and he'd be talking, like closing a deal, right? It's the last day of the quarter, maybe it's Friday or Saturday. And he's talking. And I remember thinking like, my dad speaks Japanese. Like I genuinely thought, because the technical terms he was saying, he like sold Steve Jobs, like there's a really interesting, he could be a guest. He's sold Steve Jobs these like batch of computers and Steve Jobs like screwed him. So my whole life I knew Steve Jobs was like,
wow.
He's been screwing with you then ever since.
yes. So, anyways, I remember pulling
whole YouTube
over.
thing
I
was.
vividly remember one day, but this happened often where I'm like, oh, like I really thought he was actually speaking a foreign language because my mom spoke Italian. So I'm like, oh, this is like a technical. I was that young.
Like real Italian?
Yeah. She's first gen. My grandma, Nona, shout out. If you guys come to the Bay Area, you have to come to Nona's house. We will do a podcast in the living room. You cannot get the carpet dirty. That's a whole other thing. But Nona.
Is there plastic?
On the
No, but one time my dog threw up Pam. You know Pam.
Right.
Pam threw up on
Friend of the
carpet.
Pinecast.
Pam ate a bunch of stuff in the garden, threw up black on the carpet.
Ooh.
It was a bad day. Andrew, my boyfriend, comes out to me. I'm in the car finishing a meeting. He comes out and he goes, he's sweating blood. He goes, go, just go. What
Save
happened?
yourself.
Literally that. He goes, go. And he goes, go get coffee. Say you have another meeting, just go. He literally has like a broom and something in his hand. I go, what happened? He goes, Pam threw up. It was black. It was not good. And I go, where? And he goes, Christmas carpet. Because it's like the one we only eat there in Christmas and the holiday, and it's white. And I was like, let's go to Safeway, spend whatever you have to spend on the rental carpet.
Oh, right, yeah.
And he's like, just gives me his wallet. He's like, just go. Like, he's like, I got this. And then in the background, Nona comes out in her like movement, like a 90, right?
Oh, yeah.
She's just
Shoe
like
in hand.
swinging, like, just like, I'm gonna kill your dog. And see Andrew like throw Pam, like, what? And Andrew's like, because Andrew, Nona loves Andrew. He can do no wrong because he will say, what do you need?
Right.
Instead of being like, why? He's like, what do you need? And she's like, oh. So he knows. That's why I love him. He's like, you save yourself. I'm the only person that she won't murder right now. It was a lot. Where did I even start with Nona, you guys know Nona's on. So Nona came here when she was 16. This is the other side. So my grandpa was a rocket scientist. His wife, she's Muti. She is home ec teacher and a family therapist. So she's like casserole, baking, cook. Then on my other side family, it's Italian, and my Nona came here when she was 16. Family of 5 kids. Her brother was 21 when she was born. When she was 16, didn't speak a word of English, came on the Queen Mary to San Francisco. I don't know if that's where they ported first, but
I'm surprised you didn't say the Kiwi too and let me ask you what that was.
okay. So Queen Mary, Shaq just had his Halloween party there. Okay.
Shout out.
Yeah, like I drive by Long Beach, like Queen Mary, Shaq's party. I'm like, shout out Nona. Nona was like downstairs, like schlepping her way over. So she came over without speaking a word of English, and she opened up with my late grandfather. He died when my mom was really young. They opened up one of the first Italian delis in the Bay Area. She still owns the building in Redwood City. Nona is like the boss. Like, so that's where I get some my like rocket science grandpa. Then I have Nona that's like, who follows a recipe? Like,
Right.
shut up. Like, in Italian, she's like, shut up, you stupid American girl. Like, in Italian. If you ask if I know Italian, it depends what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right.
But like that's, I don't know. This is like
In the hands
to get
thing
to
too,
know
right?
Andrea, this is like literally the art though.
This
Like
is this Italian too?
this is.
You're right.
This my hands. I'm going back and forth. But it is like I don't know. How did we get here?
I don't know. This
why I
started with
am
my
the way
daughter.
that I am. Oh, your daughter, right?
Oh, right.
So I'm on the side of the road and I hear my dad doing this deal and he's closing. I really think he's speaking a different language. And I remember thinking that, all right, I can be this smart if I just listen. Eventually I'll learn how to like order coffee in this language. Like, you know, I'll survive. I could be a business person. And then when I got into video is so insane. You have production. I will not even mess with that. That is like its own beast. I just know that that's not what I do and that's not what we do. But we need them in order to make like the Wild Gala event happen. And then we're infrastructure. When I got into video, I was like, this is the same thought as a kid. And then I was like, I remember this feeling. When was this feeling? And I was like, oh, it's like just when I was a kid. Okay, if I just listen enough, I'll learn something. And that's been my strategy with video. Still to this day, it's my strategy with blockchain. I tell everybody that if you just like listen, I may be overwhelming you where you're like, I don't understand one word. But then next week when you see a commercial or somebody says something or whatever you hear, you're going to say, oh, and like make it stick and just be one step ahead of where you were so lost before.
Right.
Point being, it's like the language thing. It's like, okay, I know what coffee is because I need coffee every day. So I'm going to learn coffee, right? Or bathroom. Bathroom's a good one. Anyways, that's like kind of like, I grew up in Silicon Valley. I was obsessed with technology. I was always exposed to it. So like very naturally, when I was like in business development and sales, I just always was like, you have to learn the tech. And you don't learn it. I'm not a student. Look at our brains. We can't even hold a linear conversation. So I was like, I just have to be around smart people. And I'll just wrap it up real nice and say J-E. I love that about J-E. Because I'm like, if I can absorb 1% of what James saying, I'm good. Like, that's my MBA. Like, are you kidding? Oh my God, that was so a stretch, but I don't know. I know you guys are with me.
Yeah.
Yes.
I leave it to your audio engineering to make the story work on the podcast. Tell me we're recording.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Oh, we hope so.
Okay.
We hope so.
But
So I think the moral of that story is BYOP, right? Bring your own production.
Yes.
We don't do that.
yes.
Well, we don't do it
But
well.
I'm establishing
No.
a few partnerships, so technically we
Oh,
could.
breaking news.
Oh, but back to your daughter saying, what is my
now
dad
full
do?
circle, first circle.
But I think that's really sweet that you got it, not to be like cheesy, but you have it on recording. I think that's so fun that like she's Andrea in probably 20 years, I don't know, 30 years. I feel like this is very meta of me to say. She's like telling the story. Version 2, where she's like, yeah, my dad did this podcast.
Oh man.
I didn't even know what the podcast was. I just thought he was like in the basement all the time. He took off his glasses, so I didn't recognize him. And like, there's actually a recording with this executive, Andrea Berry. She's on the cover of.
Yeah.
And she wants to interview me.
But it's yes. But like, I think that's so cool because as kids, like you're just like, she doesn't care. She doesn't know. It's so cool. Like, look at us. We're all so boring. They probably think it's boring. I used to go to my dad's work and thought it was the coolest thing was they had a whiteboard with every color dry erase marker. I was like, this is the coolest place. And you have snacks whenever you want them. Like, this is so cool. Now as an adult, I'm like, it's so sad. But if you guys are in the Bay Area, we go to Nona's house. That's like fact. We're going.
Mhm.
And then you guys can come to HQ. Great snacks at HQ. Great snacks.
Really?
Shout out Susanna. She runs the office and so much more.
But we're only ecosystem adjacent.
No.
Wait, this is how relationships work. Am I not
Right.
bridge? Interoperability?
Yeah.
So I can't say that word. It's so hard.
Interoperability. Oh, no, I didn't have it. But just do it so quick. I got in a lot of trouble doing that over
You're
the
like,
years.
let's be honest. You actually tried to fool me. Go again. Say it.
Interoperability.
Actually, that was
That's
good.
Close.
I think the shrug like
I
helps
missed
the
one of the-
movement. Just let it
Yeah,
flow.
I'm not-
Let it flow.
English is a very bizarre language.
I believe that you believe that.
No, it is.
I'm sorry. You are way more worldly than I am. You
Mhm.
lived in other countries.
Right. Temporarily.
Yeah, but like that's something.
All right, so hold on.
Okay. Can we,
All right,
can we get you talking a little bit?
I won't even talk. And
Interoperability.
neither will she.
Interoper.
We have news about that,
Let's
right?
spell it. Yes, we do. I forgot that it's
Huh?
part 2.
Yeah, I think this is the part that we missed.
Okay.
So I mean, we might want to just have a little bit.
Of context.
Yeah.
No, this is
Oh,
good
good.
because the question yesterday when thou shall not be named misrecorded in our
Yes.
conversation.
Magnum. Chief of Communication.
Sergeant.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, was it Sergeant?
Master Sergeant.
Okay.
But
No, but
Sergeant.
not Sergeant 1.
What's that?
Not Sergeant 1. What's
No,
Not first sergeant?
Yeah.
First
yeah,
sergeant.
No.
Yeah.
If you know, you know, you don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we back on?
We're back on.
Back on.
And we're
What
back.
was the question? Interoperability.
Yeah.
Oh, so news. This week is a big week. We had MetaChain launch, of course. We have ThetaCon. But the like exciting announcement and like very tangible use case for everybody was the WoW Gala and Ethereum authentication.
Right.
That's what you're talking about, yeah?
Yes, it is, because we had the explanation on this last night, but I wanted to let the other 5 people that are going to listen that weren't there last night hear this.
It's
So-
almost got it's the same people. But I
So
love
we
you guys
were,
for it.
yeah, we were a little skeptical about how good of news
Right.
this was.
Well, I will answer
Yes.
as if JE didn't answer today. But were you guys paying? Did you guys get to watch JE and Mitch answer that?
Most of it.
It was
Yes.
cool, right?
I was
like,
I was trying to hunt down your boardroom that you didn't know you had.
thank you. I know. I was
They're ruined right now.
multitasking.
Right.
People, I was like on my phone texting you guys, and I group messaged you because I know you only manage it. And I was like,
You're
this is
right,
how-
yes,
I was like,
yes.
that's how I'm gonna fix this
Yeah.
problem that you have. He doesn't check his DMs with the Pinecast. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Right.
I'll group message you with the Pinecast, so you are going to be
There
part
you
of this.
go. No excuses.
This is me. I'm like cackling. Jay and Mitch are talking, and I was like messaging you guys. So my phone is like up vertically, and then I'm like, oh, people actually like pay attention to me here, and like, no, that's Andrea. It's a very new
Right.
thing for me. So I was like, we're going horizontal. I was like, everyone's probably seeing all the. I'm like texting you guys during the thing.
That's random, right?
So I was like, my Gmail's up. I'm actually like messaging Mitch on Slack. So I was like, that's fine, whatever. They can't read it, but I'm
Right.
like working. But they see me on Twitter and I'm messaging you guys. And I'm like, so I'm like, I literally go like this. I was like, yeah, very
Under the
important,
table.
very important. Okay, so Ethereum authentication.
Yeah.
It sounds like I'm like repeating this, which is already silly to begin with, but I made this tweet after we got to announce the WoW Gala, which I've been working on for so long. And it's exciting because it's a relationship I've been working on, and we tried to do video utility in different ways. And then this was a perfect fit and it just worked. Anyways, it was the end-to-end first, like product idea to execution that I've been a part of since I joined the company. Like I've been kind of halfway through or like things, but like truly
Stuff
like
was going on before you got
my
here.
project,
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
like my relationship in it, doing that felt like a lot of pressure, but it was so cool because like to see the way JE's team executed. So finally we got to announce it this week. I was just like, okay, it's like so exciting. I was nervous. Does the community understand? Like, this is like so good for Theta. We were a little concerned, like, would the community think excluded, right? Fair enough. Because
Right.
like it's an event that they don't get to watch unless they, I don't think, were
Sure,
out for.
Sure. Yep.
But Kyle and the team and we all came together. It's like, no, like people who follow Theta understand the vision of the longevity and the infrastructure. And this is an infrastructure story. And so anyways, I was so happy when we announced it. Everybody gets it. It's very exciting.
Except for Max.
And then
Yeah. And then you guys asked me last night, how big is big? And I was like, I don't know. How long do we have to talk about this? But it's my tweet that I think is way funnier than it probably is, but I love it, is that somebody asked me this on Twitter, like when we announced it, for those of us non-technical folks, how big is this? And I go, well, anybody with an Ethereum community, you're looking for utility?
Yeah.
I got your video utility. I did Jake from State Farm call me.
Yeah.
But it's true. Like
Yeah.
anybody with Ethereum community, whether that's like a World of Women collection or whatever they might do, it's now a use case for me to say, because people don't understand the space a lot, that interoperability is not as complicated as you may think with a Theta. And so they say, oh, we already have done 2 projects with Ethereum. And I'm like, that's okay. And I will
Mhm.
educate them, but like they will not believe it until they see it. And now I can say, great. Like, not like that's okay and try to
Right.
convince them. I'm like, even better. And I get to show them this use case. But a lot of these Ethereum groups, definitely not World of Women, but other notable ones.
World of Men.
I think that's
Well, I think that's crypto
That's
in
this
general.
weekend.
yeah.
Right.
But it's like, what's utility and the securities issue. So if you can prove utility, I don't know enough about the security stuff, but I just know that it's a concern and it's something to be extremely cautious of. And some of these groups exist and they're struggling to figure out their utility. And it's like, you got video. I can literally just put a camera here and be like, you guys are now a video company and you offer video utility to the Pines. Right? Like
Right.
we talked about that a little bit last night
We did.
in our prep call. But the Pines, right? It's like I'm really serious. I'm happy to help you guys like figure this part out, but it's like no pressure. But if you're doing it, do you guys do it on video or you're just audio when you actually record?
Just audio currently.
Yeah, we're not high tech.
Yeah.
Well, there's this thing called Zoom. My Nona knows how to use it, so I think you guys can learn how to use it.
Okay.
But it's
Yeah.
really simple. You take the stream and like you can just live stream it or record it, and then on your website it can be like Pines only. Because the fives of fives, they probably want to watch.
We've just lost a few.
No, for the video.
Oh.
The listeners were in tens of tens. I believe hundreds of hundreds. But video, we gotta start with fives of fives. But people want to watch video and they want to watch video podcasts.
I've noticed that.
It's a thing. It's a
Yeah.
thing. You can now do this. I'll help you guys set it up, figure this part out of like, why not just like do it on maybe special guest episodes when JJ Reddick comes. You should probably get that on video. You know?
So this one should be on video.
Yeah, our next one.
All right.
Our third one.
So just to get back to that a little bit. So this is big for
Yes,
Theta
thank you.
because it could lead to other things.
Well, it's like so many things, but it's in the sense of it's the first step towards interoperability.
IO, as we call in the biz.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a use case. It's a tangible one. It's like very much off the shelf. It's like not like we need all this dev work now because we built the dev work. So now it's more like out of the box where somebody wants to do like a quick event. I don't need a couple months. I can do it in a couple days or a week, right?
Right.
But maybe they're not doing NFTs with Theta yet. But I really believe we did talk about this, like the stickiness of the platform.
Yep.
Like where's the shoe in where we establish a contract? And then it's my job to like land and expand, get them to understand. I understand their business, problem solve. But my usual shoe in with Jerry is with NFTs because it's like, oh, NFTs can be a new revenue stream. Do everything you don't need to disrupt your business. It's risk averse. Let's just try a campaign and let's help you learn about Web3 through this first campaign because we're a full managed service company, which most blockchain companies, most marketplaces do not offer. Like if you don't even have an artist, we're like, great, we help you do the art. If you guys just want to sign off IP, we got you. But companies is usually like a blend of that. We'll fill whatever gaps. Very different than anything in this space. And so with Ethereum, okay. So usually NFTs are our first shoe-in because it's like easy and it's like, what behaviors are you trying to drive to your business? KPIs, key performance indicators.
Well, obviously, of course.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But it's like, what are those?
I knew that one.
I don't know if the government uses that, but
What?
KPIs.
We use acronyms.
Okay. Anyways, be so odd. Here's our KPIs.
Who is this Magnum guy?
I know. So mysterious. But it's like, okay, then we'll build a campaign around those KPIs to say, great, this is just like in True Versus saying this, like, it's like, great, this is just another ad spend like any other campaign you do. Like, right? It's like, this is another campaign, like learn about Web3. We'll teach you and consult you. Happen with Fremantle. The group that we work with at Fremantle, American Idol and Price is Right,
Price is Right, yeah.
they established a Web3 council. And it's the group that Kyle worked with every week in our team. And they coached them and taught them Web3. And now they are the Web3 council at Fremantle. And I'm like, I tell people that in my meetings, like, we are here to help you, to educate you, not to do your job,
Yeah.
to know your business. We're just here to help you kind of like understand, demystify this space.
Sure.
Well, yeah, you're helping a fish to fish will eat for a long time, but
Again, another business development strategy of mine.
Helping a fish to fish.
Well, what's it? No, it's like
Teach a
them
man
to
to fish.
Thank you.
oh, it's got to be your
Or as you
fish.
gotta learn
Yeah.
it.
Right,
Yeah, you
right.
almost
Then
stick
you
your head
can't
up there.
fish.
Okay.
Working smarter, not harder. I do have a point with this whole lineage of explaining is that NFTs are usually Theta's like first shoe in with a company or like establishing the relationship. It's consumer facing, it's easy. And then that kind of demystifies Web3. I can learn their business from the inside, build relationships to be like, I see that this is a big problem. Did you know blockchain can do this? It's better. It's easier that way. And you can get shit done
Right.
that way
Right.
versus like coming from the outside and being like, hey, Mr. CTO, da, da, da. And he's like, who are you? And why do I care about you versus Ethereum, Solana, like everything else, right? So usually NFTs have been what I've noticed like a good start of what is like a flywheel. Like a flywheel is like everything you can do.
Mhm.
You have to start somewhere and a good business should have like, and then you do this, and then you do this. And then it's like, eventually like it's this path of a flywheel. So back to the Ethereum question, it's like a different version of that flywheel to then say these companies, they're like, I've dealt with it a lot in my early days of Theta, and now I've navigated a little better. But now you can go back to those guys who are like, we're already on Ethereum. Like, Ethereum is like, can you be Ethereum? Ethereum's going to be proof of stake. And I was like, but we were proof of stake first, you know, like it's so annoying. But now that's our shoe-in of saying like, great, no problemo, like even easier because it's like use our video player and our authentication that we have patented. And it's like, this is an out-of-the-box product. And it's more like any tech vendor they've worked with. Instead of a blockchain company, we're just a video solution. And we can add value to their community. And it's more like an off-the-shelf thing. They don't have to build it. It's like, do you want to work with us or not? And that's another shoe-in of like a flywheel. So it's like a different piece of the flywheel. But to me, it's like, great. That just means the accessibility point to work with Theta. We have another one that's low-hanging fruit, risk adverse. It's like, yeah, like World Gala, like what was the risk for them of their community of like, let's private stream this event because they had done an NFT NYC. Madonna performed for them, but only WoW holders got to go to the event and it wasn't live streamed. They have 13,000, 10 to 13,000 because there's a little overlap members.
That sounds like a missed opportunity.
A lot around the world. And that was the biggest feedback. So when they came to us, it was like, if we're having this gala, I think it was only 1,000 or 1,500 people. Not everyone can come to Miami. Not everyone can afford to come to Miami. Weren't enough tickets. How do we like add that utility back to the community so they feel included and really tapped in? And that's where I was like, got you, say less. I don't know if this is answering your question, but it's like,
yeah,
it's specific examples, but it's like now that's the story, right? Like we want utility because I explain this to executives. We want to work with your NFT projects different from all the other people I'm sure you met with today, right? Sometimes I'm like just in the queue of like 10 NFT companies that probably come through. I'm like, we are layer one, we're infrastructure. Like you could potentially, when we have subchains coming, you could launch your own NFT marketplace. Like I'm like, yeah, we can do all what they're saying, but like so much more. And so my education point to them is like you can do everything with Theta. And hey, you guys just want like a video solution? Like, great. And that's might be better because they're like, oh, we can't do blockchain yet or whatever they might say.
Right.
Like, great. But I know video and I know streaming. I'm like, we're just as competitive. Like our video toolbox doesn't like, nobody needs to know it's blockchain. It's irrelevant.
Exactly.
And so our projects with NFT, Jerry and I focus on like, what's the utility? And this is something we've evolved into, but if there's utility with an NFT project, that means they need infrastructure, right?
Right.
Or at least it's implied, or if it's not immediate, it's thereafter, infrastructure of utility.
Well, it's not coming out of thin air.
Exactly. And so then that's like, great. You can do all of that with Theta. You don't have to go find your infrastructure, and then you have your custodial wallet, and then you have your NFT marketplace, and like you're doing all this. It's like literally you can do all of that with Theta. And if you can't do it all now, you can use us. We can do it all for you if you sign off on the IP or work with Verified Labs because they're more of like the day-to-day managing talent, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll force myself to shut up there, but I'm like trying to paint the picture.
Okay. I think
Am I doing it?
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Vivid.
Vivid.
So, I mean, hypothetically, what would be a next possible step with WoW?
Yeah. Okay. So I can talk about it a little bit. It's like I have to be. No, it's good. It's not. Now that we've got the event done, I've just been in such a mode of like everything's top secret. But no, our partnership is established, and we did a really good job for them, and it's a really fun partnership because it's mutually beneficial. They've talked about, so we'll see if this is it, but they will continue with video utility. So maybe it's as light as an Ask Me Anything with their founder. Like we think Mitch is famous. Their founder, Yam, is amazing. She's just featured in the New Yorker. It is awesome. I'm not shout-outing New Yorker. I'm shout-outing Yam, the founder of WoW. It's an awesome article you don't have to pay for, although the subscription thing pops up. it's a lie. You just hit the X button. Don't be freaked out. I was really
Does it
upset.
depend on how many times you've gone to the site? In a
No,
month?
but
Okay, they try to
also there's
trick
this
you.
thing called incognito window. You should find out that they don't know how many times. Anyway, but you go to Yam,
Fine.
go halfway through the New Yorker, and then it pops up. You're like, no, and then you just hit X, and you can
Okay.
read the rest.
Okay.
But she's really incredible. She wants, like she could do an AMA on Fridays. Like this could be their like movie theater. This page is established. It's their Theta Drop video portal. So whatever they want to do with it, they can. They can do live AMAs. They could do, if they have I'm sure they have a podcast in the community. They could video it, like whatever they want to do. But like something I've been pushing for them is like, let's do a movie night. Like let's do, like instead of a book club, do a movie of the month club. And like you have this community who like want to support undertold stories or, diverse things and have this community come together and chat about it, talk like just like a book club would, but virtually around the world, connecting people, and you host it. Maybe Yam even gets on before and is like, I love this movie and I chose it this month because of XYZ. I don't know if this will be World of Women, what they will do, but that's what they can do. And JE talked about that today. This is like our vision for what can be done. We don't want any limitations on the type of video that can be token gated, which is why we've gone through the studio level DRM requirement. That is a level of standard of security that studios require. It is insane. And each studio technically has like a slightly different version. Like he said, they're like usually 3 to 30 page documents of like security questions that you have to answer and fill with protocols. And JE and the team are like, let's go, bring it on. And I'm like, okay, you guys get it. Usually with tech companies I've worked with, they're like, well, WoW needs to pay for it, or we need to, like, where's the movie? Like it has to exist for them to build. And JE understands, like, we hope that this is what WoW will want to do with it. But if it's not WoW, I can go into the studios that I meet with often that I'm constantly educating. I'm like, great, we have studio level DRM. So we got you there. Like, don't need to worry about that. And also now I have this WoW use case to show that's like, it was a really beautiful experience. Like Ryan is on JE's team. And when the day before the launch, it was very Theta branded. And it's okay, but it was like, it looked really technical to like nobody, like maybe
everyone in glasses.
Well, it was just very literal. It was like black and white with teal and like kind of like code instead of like maybe like, hey, welcome and polishing up. And Ryan's like, let's make it look like WoW. So we just mimicked it like their website. It was purple with their logo. So then, right, we all have a level of distrust. What am I connecting here?
Mm-hmm.
Make it look like what they know. They did it in like a day or two.
Wow.
Again, there's another example of like, I'm just always amazed where I'm like always protective of them. Like WoW asked for a third collection to be approved, like within a couple of days too. And I just, you guys, it's last minute. Like I was like inserting myself. So she asked the group with JE and it's like, JE, I totally understand, but just thought I'd throw it out there. So I private messaged her and I was like, look, it's like 2 days before. I just assumed, right? Let's stay on track. Let's keep the testing going. As I hit send, I get a message from Jay in the group, and Jay goes, sure, no problem. Send me the contract address or whatever the term is called. And I was like, did it again.
Wow.
Doing it again. I feel like I'm truly on a panel where I'm like, you ask a question and then I'm like, let me tell you what I want to tell you. Am I answering the question?
It was my question.
Do you think so? I mean, so the way I see it is this is big for Theta for what it could become after using this the first time.
Well, no, I would say it like this. It's big for Theta now because it's using our infrastructure and it's using our meta chain. Like,
It's
even though they
using
don't,
our meta chain.
yeah, even though like in this.
So was this timed like for that purpose?
No, it was like a coincidence. And I was like, can we do it on the same day? And she's like, yeah. I was like,
so wait, whose meta chain did it?
It's not, and this is, and again, I'm not an engineer, so maybe this is open for a little interpretation, but like, I can't explain this on the token side. You actually don't need a subchain to launch a TNT20 token.
Right.
And you don't need a subchain to leverage the baseline technology.
Agreed.
You can have a subchain and that positions you as a layer one, but like
There's
they don't
requirements for that.
They don't have a subchain. I'd like them to. That's something I'm working towards. They don't. They can use, it's like the baseline. I don't know. It's my non-technical version. Like what they launched on
Well, they still
was
have access
meta
to
chain.
the theta chain.
Yeah, and they're using the main chain. Main
Yeah.
chain, yeah, main chain's the thing.
Main chain.
Main chain.
Sure. Yeah.
I like hashtag main chain.
Hashtag main chain.
I feel
Okay.
like that should be like literally a gold necklace. It says hashtag main chain.
And like with the state
Which
of Maine.
I'm just like imagining
Oh.
JE wearing like the like main chain
Oh, geez.
Yeah, with
I'd
the-
Like a
love to see
big
it.
gold necklace.
with a nice music video. I don't know. I like it a lot. But
Well, you
Those
got-
furry-
that's a
those
good
furry
idea.
white-
powered
top hats?
by the meta chain. Because like yes, they don't have a sub chain, but it was powered by our infrastructure, which is
Powered
now
by
a
the
meta
edge node.
chain,
Okay.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's using Theta Video API, which means it was using our CDN, our storage, the player, and then NFT DRM, the authentication
Yeah.
layer. So that's using our infrastructure, which I will not get into tokenomics because I'm not qualified to speak on that. Still listening in on that language.
Right.
But that more people using our platform and having users and us adopting new users that didn't know about
Visibility to
Theta
it.
or
Yeah.
maybe did, but right, it's like a whole other community that didn't overlap with ours. That's adding value to hashtag main chain,
Yes.
right?
No, okay. No, Go
And
ahead.
T-fuel, any interactions happening is increasing the value of T-fuel and gases because it's the transactions happening.
Okay.
Is that sufficient? I had
Not
a
technically
couple
with
glasses
us.
of wine,
no.
but now I'm looking at the time where I'm like,
Yeah.
I do have to get going.
What time is it?
7:53.
okay.
How'd that happen?
JJ Reddick. I'd love to come back again if that wasn't
Yeah,
obvious.
no, let's
if
do
you'll
it.
let
Oh,
me.
I'm gonna write it down.
Oh, I forgot what
Also, I would love. We haven't talked about Wes yet. What? I was on your show before Wes's show, and Wes asked me way earlier.
Oh, really?
really
Oh,
a
Wes
lot
too.
earlier. But
We're
it's
talking Wes too.
intimidating. It's like it's on video, and it's like I also didn't know Wes then. Where now I've listened to you guys, so I got a little bit of a vibe
Yeah.
check. But Wes, I was like, this is gonna be the AMA guys. Who are like, here's the count up. Where's the last time it's gonna get dropped?
It's a reverse countdown, by
But
the
it
way.
wasn't. Wes actually isn't like that. You're like that. But here we are,
Right.
scot free.
Scot free. All right.
Is that good?
That's
Yes.
great.
Are we good?
This is
Yeah,
great.
we are good.
Do we want to
In my
wrap it?
humble, in your humble opinion, what do you think of this show?
I think it's.
Probably.
I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. I think it's gonna
Humbly
just
though. You humbly think so.
well for everyone. I mean, I hope. Obviously, I hope they like it. And
We liked it.
that's all that. And
That's
that's
3 of 10. That's 30%.
All that matters is that you liked it.
I'm back for more. You can't. When we do
There we
this
go.
again, I'm here till Monday. Let's go again. This is great. I love it. It's fun.
Yeah.
that's
We got to follow up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay.
Might be
Good.
the second.
And-
second return.
yeah.
to the
Anytime. And anytime you want to come, we will bump ultralight.
show. Oh man.
About Wes. Wait. So do you get on? He's not on the show yet.
No, not yet.
No, but
No.
we want
I
us
beat-
to go on his show.
Well, I beat him on your show.
Yes.
Love it.
Vice versa.
All
All
right.
right. Awesome show.
Papa Max Podcast.
You have been listening to the Pops and Mags Pinecast. Music provided by Sushi Cat. Like what you hear? Send that cat a treat at feedthecat.theta. Pops and Mags is a scumbag hat production in association with Kyle's Hot Tub.